I recently spent 2 weeks in Kuala Lumpur as a digital nomad, and it was quite an experience. I had been recommended to go there by some friends in Da Nang, and to be honest, I was really excited. I had in mind this very metropolitan city with a real buzz. But was it that? In this video, I share the pros and cons of being a digital nomad in Kuala Lumpur. If you're new here, I'm Niluka, founder of Imagine That, which helps ambitious but bored professionals start their own online services business and work from anywhere. Now, if you don't know much about me and my background, I started my career as a Big Four consultant in London before going into entrepreneurship, working on 2 of my own businesses remote while nomading in 7 places around the world. This whole experience taught me a lot, and this channel is where I share my journey and my main insights. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start with the pros of Kuala Lumpur. Number 1, it's a very varied city. Kuala Lumpur is a melting pot for cultures and has a lot to offer, from the bustling streets of Chinatown to the financial district to the more hip area of Bukit Bintang. There's always something to see and do. Now, Chinatown is a sensory overload with its vibrant stalls, amazing street art and pretty decorations. Bukit Bintang, on the other hand, offers high-end shopping malls, trendy cafes and nightlife. Then you have the financial district, and that has lots of skyscrapers and big companies. I actually stayed in this area, quite near to the Petronas Towers, and as you can see, the views from my apartment were absolutely incredible. When I arrived, I felt like being a little bit in a New York penthouse with those views. If you're into nature and history, the Batu Caves is also a hugely famous must visit. These limestone caves contain Hindu temples, and there is a massive golden statue of the Hindu god Murugan at the entrance. You get to climb the 272 colourful steps to the caves, which is an experience in itself. There are also lots of monkeys around. So in short, there is lots of variety in Kuala Lumpur. Each area of Kuala Lumpur offers something unique, ensuring you don't run out of places to explore during your stay. Number 2, in terms of pros, there is a very affordable cost of living. One of the biggest perks of staying in Kuala Lumpur is the affordability. Rent is very reasonable, even if you are right in the centre, and food is cheap and delicious. Whether you're dining at street food stalls or in nice restaurants, you won't break the bank. For instance, a meal at a food stall can cost you as little as a couple of dollars, while dining at a mid-range restaurant might set you back about £10 or so. So this low cost of living is a significant advantage, especially for long-term stays. And transportation is also really affordable. There is an efficient public transport system, and you can also use car services like Grab. I actually used Grab quite a lot, and usually it was only a couple of pounds to get around. So overall, Kuala Lumpur offers a relatively high quality of life without a high price tag, making it very budget friendly for nomads who are looking for a more affordable place to stay. Okay, number 3. Kuala Lumpur has good infrastructure for Asia. Now, Kuala Lumpur boasts impressive infrastructure for a city in Asia. It's somewhere, I would say, in between Bangkok and Singapore. The buildings are pretty modern, in fact, very modern. The metro system is clean, efficient. The MRT and LRT lines connect most parts of the city, and the trains are very punctual and comfortable. Additionally, the roads are well maintained, and traffic, although it can be busy, is a little bit more manageable compared to other major Asian cities. There's no crazy scooters here, for example, or very few of them. There is also very reliable internet, which of course is important for digital nomads. And of course, you also have these very well made shopping malls, healthcare facilities. They're all up to par with what you would expect in a major urban centre. Okay. What about the cons of Kuala Lumpur? Let's look at them now. By the way, if you're liking this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to see more from me like this. Now, I really want to start first with the fact that I found it personally not Western enough for solo female nomads. As a solo female nomad, I felt a bit out of place in Kuala Lumpur. I didn't see many people who looked like me, and I noticed I was getting more stares than I would in a place like Thailand or Vietnam, which obviously I didn't like. Now, don't get me wrong, I want to make very clear that I did feel very safe there, but the lack of a familiar presence can be somewhat unsettling. There was a definite cultural jar, at least for me. Now, it is an Islamic country, and so you do have to be respectful. And while it is still liberal, I didn't feel that I could just, for example, run in my sports crop top in the park and not have people look at me. Now, while Kuala Lumpur is a cosmopolitan city with a diverse population, it doesn't have a large expat community compared to some other Asian cities, which I was actually quite surprised by. And basically this can make it feel harder to blend in and feel comfortable, especially if you're used to seeing a lot of Western faces around. So the cultural differences there were more pronounced than I expected, making it quite challenging to adapt. And that brings me on to my second point, my second con of Kuala Lumpur. There is basically no digital nomad community. One of the things I missed most in Kuala Lumpur was having a community around me. It's mainly a few expats who work in the offices there or at home. The co-working spaces were literally empty. I went to 3 and there was only a handful of people there, if that. And the WhatsApp digital nomad group I joined was so small and there was no activity on there. So this made finding other friends there very challenging. Unlike cities like Chiang Mai, Da Nang or Bali, Kuala Lumpur doesn't have a well-established digital nomad scene. And this can make it harder to meet other nomads, share experiences and build a supportive network. I was only there for 2 weeks. During that 2 weeks, I only met one person, which I think really puts things into perspective. The third con for me is that it is quite a sterile and boring city. Now, despite the diversity and the cool areas I mentioned earlier, overall, Kuala Lumpur still felt quite sterile and boring. It lacks the vibrancy of other Asian cities. There's a certain excitement and energy that places like Bangkok or Ho Chi Minh City have, which Kuala Lumpur just seemed to lack. So if you're looking for a lively, dynamic environment, you might find Kuala Lumpur a bit too quiet. Plus, while Kuala Lumpur has plenty of activities and attractions, it can feel a bit too orderly and just lacking in any spontaneity. The city's modern infrastructure and well-planned urban spaces create this sense of predictability, which might not appeal to those who are seeking a more adventurous and lively atmosphere. So if you're someone who thrives on energy and bustling city life, you might find Kuala Lumpur a bit disappointing. I also got this impression, by the way, from the people living there. There wasn't the same chattiness or enthusiasm as other cities that I have been to. So, in conclusion, Kuala Lumpur, look, it's good for a short stay. It has a lot to offer. It is affordable. It has some decent infrastructure, some great shopping malls. But the lack of a strong digital nomad community and the somewhat sterile atmosphere mean I probably won't be going back anytime soon. That said, if you're looking for a quite diverse city with a low cost of living and some fantastic city views if you do stay in the centre, it is worth considering a short stay there. Just keep in mind you might not have that community around you and you might not have that vibrancy of other popular hubs in Asia. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do subscribe for more reviews like this in future. And if you're interested in starting your own online services business and having the opportunity to work from anywhere, then you can join the free Imagine That community. The link is in the description. Otherwise, that's all, and I'll see you here next time.